So, tell me about the audio enhancement. Has the sound increased better for you while in the classroom? Can you hear the teacher better?
Yes, I can hear the teacher better. I don't have to try to move anything.
Do you feel that it's improved in your studies?
Yes.
Tell me how and why.
Well, I usually don't have to always ask what he said over and over again, and he just says it once and I can tell what he said. Helps me with my notes better and everything. So, yeah.
Okay. And do you find that it's check 1, 2. Let me see. Where am I getting? Am I getting this from here? Check 1, 2, and then I want to check 1. Okay, very good. Tell me, how do you feel the other students do with it?
I think most of them are okay with it. Sometimes I think some of the other kids are not okay with it, but they like love it, but they don't like it.
But tell me this. Tell me, do you think that do you have any friends that have been able to do better in class because they have better hearing throughout the room?
Well, my friend Jacob.
Tell me about him.
Well, he's a smart person. I don't think, like a long time ago when we didn't have this, I don't think he was able to hear, so he couldn't ask the questions on how to do this. And now that he can hear with the microphone, he's able to answer the questions correctly without asking him what the question was again.
It doesn't always go totally.
Okay. Okay, so this is a little off subject, but tell me about what the camera in the classroom. Has it affected you, or what do you think about the camera in the classroom?
I'm okay with it. I don't really care about the camera. I'm okay with it. Sometimes I don't even notice it, so I'm all right with it.
That's right.
Okay. Look, are you looking into the camera? Okay, say that again. Put your glasses up a little bit. Okay.
Well, sometimes I don't really care about the camera because sometimes I don't even notice it, and I never actually do anything bad around the camera, so I'm okay with it.
How about your friends or anything? Have you seen where it's worked for them? Have you seen where it's helped the teacher at all or helped the class?
No, most of the time we don't really even need it.
Okay. All right. All right. And, in your own words, tell me, how do you think the audio system will benefit you as a student in the classroom?
Well, let's see here. It could, in kindergarten when they didn't have this, I always had to ask to go to the front row. Now I don't have to go to the front row because I can hear it better, even when I'm back way in the back getting a pencil. I'm okay with it. I can hear it better, and I don't have to worry about asking him a question on what happened, what he said. And I daydream sometimes, but still, it works for me. I can still hear what he's saying.
Okay. So, like, if it's going from like
For a minute.
Okay.
north south, and tell me the states it goes through. No, just on the part where you answer. Oh. Just on the part you answer. Okay, you may read now. You said I'll get you the other thing. Hey, James. Are states proper nouns? Turn around. Can you go read? Okay. Now, proper what is this? Okay, is that how you spell first name? No, it isn't. It's got to be spelled right now. Okay, you may read now. Whatever you like. You may read now. So, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I can find you one. I'm going to get you. That part's not where you take the grape. I'll be grape on this part. Yes, I recycle those. There you go. Well, then sharpen your pencil. Yes, sir. You just didn't capitalize it. Yes, sir. Trip over your stuff here. What's up here? Yes and yes. Okay, what do you want? Well, does it look like it goes through North Carolina? Okay, but of all of them that are on that list, that would probably be one I would eliminate. But what you did, well, except this is all. This one's right here. There you go. Okay. Just the numbers. I don't need the numbers. Just the numbers of the highways. There's only 3 of them. Yeah, that's fine. Right here. Certainly.
For graphics, spell your first and last name for me.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hey, class. I should not hear you at all at this point. Excuse me. Turn it off. Turn around. Turn around. Okay.
Okay, for graphics, I'm going to need you to spell your first and last name and what grade teacher you are.
For graphics, first and last name?
Yes.
Okay, first name is Karlyle, K-A-R-L-Y-L-E. Last name is Shook, S-H-O-O-K.
Okay, and if you can, tell me, how has the audio enhancement product worked for you in your classroom?
Well, I've had audio enhancement at the previous school I was teaching at, so I've used it for a couple of years now. And how it has helped me is I don't have to raise my voice near as much to be heard. I can talk at a normal level and they hear me because the sound comes down on top of them.
And what has been some of the reaction from the students themselves being able to hear you throughout the classroom?
Well, the biggest reaction I get is I don't have to repeat myself so much. The other reaction is they tend to be quieter because they can hear me.
And how about the effectiveness in the classroom grade study? Has that improved?
I would say that performance has improved. Long term, I don't know yet because I haven't had it long enough to know that.
Okay. And the camera, having the camera in the classroom, how do you feel about that?
It's a tool like anything. I haven't really used the camera much myself, but it's nice to know that it's there. If something happens, I just push a button and people know immediately that I need help right away. It's nice to know that there's, I have a little level of safety that I didn't have before, and I can use it as a tool to just observe what I do.
Do you have any of your own observations from the system itself, the whole entire system, that you like about it more than you expect it to like?
To answer that question honestly, I haven't really used the camera part of the tool as much as I would like to. I just really haven't had a chance to use it. We just had a recent training, and I do expect to try it out, and I could probably give you a better answer later on.
Okay. And in charging the unit, is it easy to charge the unit? Is it easy to keep upgrade on the unit to keep working it each day?
You can't overcharge it, so you can't ruin the batteries that are in it. And within a couple of hours I can charge it, and it's good for half a day on just a couple of hours. If it's overnight, it's good for the whole day.
So overall, give me your teacher feeling. How do you like it? How do you like the whole program?
I like it because it enables me to be more effective, because they hear me. If they can hear me, I don't have to repeat myself. I can spend more time in instruction instead of explaining what I want them to do. No. Clara. Clara Barton. Clara Barton, founder of the Red Cross. That you would turn in. Hey, Janice? No. All have controls. South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the stuff that highway goes through.
I will ask you that.
Okay. Where's your email? Don't know. I don't know. It ends up somewhere in routine here.
I seriously
There's a speaker shot, there's two speakers on the top and the back here, and then the back over here, back there, and gotta record things. Later I have notes.
Evie, I need you to spell your first and last name for the graphics and your position here at the school.
Okay, Evangeline, Evangelyn, Visser, V as in Victor, Isser, and I'm the principal at Manse Elementary School.
Okay, and tell me about the audio enhancement system in this brand new school and how you feel the effectiveness in the classroom it will be for you.
Basically, we were very fortunate. At Old Manse, we had the audio enhancement audio system, but when we moved to the new school, they had upgraded the system, so we got the new upgraded system. In addition to that, we have the ViewPath system, which provides a video recording in each classroom that we can put on at will or in the case of an emergency. I think that the audio piece is really, really important. A classroom is a big room, and it allows for every kid, no matter where they are in the room, to be able to hear the teacher at the same level. This is particularly important for our EL students who really need to hear, for students who are struggling with spelling or basically any child children who have attention issues, where hearing the teacher clearly can keep them on track.
Tell me, what has been the impact of ViewPath on your students?
They know that the videos that they could be videotaped at any time. So I think that behavior is better in general throughout the school. We are also looking forward to using it to, we've captured kids a little. I think we've had one class that's used it to record student presentations so that the kids could see the presentation. And we look forward to using that more in the future. In addition, I really think it's going to make a big difference for our teachers. Teacher evaluations are right at the top of the news these days, and the system allows teachers to record themselves for a self-assessment, and also it allows us to record teachers in their classroom without the principal being there, which kids tend to act a little bit different when the principal's in the room. And that will allow the teacher and the principal to, review their performance in the classroom and talk about the things that are done really well and things that might be improved.
To what extent is it easier to teach? And you've emphasized a little bit on this, but if you can't just kind of drive this one home for me one more time, to what extent is it easier to teach using this system and include the playback of class curriculums?
The teacher can record at any time basically during the day. So if they are working on a lesson or they're presenting a lesson for the first time, they can record it and then they can review it so that the next time they teach that lesson, they can improve the lesson.
Tell me a little bit about some of the external capabilities of having that lessons taught so that the student can watch at a later time. We have children who are absent for lots of reasons. And this allows the teacher to do two things. One, they can record a lesson when children are absent, and children can then watch that lesson on their own time or it's sometime during the day so that they don't really miss that time. Because parents always think that we can give them the work they miss, but it's not the work that's the important thing. It's the interactions between the teacher and the student during that lesson that allow the student to complete that work. So this allows the student, if they miss that class, to review it. It also allows teachers to do review lessons that can be presented to children so that they can watch that review lesson as many times as they need to make sure they understand the concept. So, which should result, I'm expecting to result in better scores on assessments. Okay, let's take your microphone cable and tuck it back in. It's kind of coming out of there.
Sorry.
And that last part, I want you to just tell me that last part again. You touched your mic and you just
Oh.
did a little brush. So tell me that last part one more time.
I'm very excited about the ability of teachers to be able to record a review of a lesson and make that available to students. The students will be able to watch that review as many times as they need to for them to truly master the concept, which will result in higher test scores. We'll know that kids have actually mastered the subject. And kids learn at different times, we know that. And this allows us to give students who need more time to give them that time.
Okay. My last question for you today would be, have you ever had a classroom emergency in which you've used the alert, and tell us about that. And if you haven't, tell me how you feel that it will be effective should you need to.
We have been very fortunate. The system allows for teachers to press a panic button in, I don't know if it should be called a panic button, but an alert to the office in the event that there's a medical emergency, or there's a disciplinary issue with students, some other kind of emergency in the classroom. The office is notified immediately. An alarm goes off. We can view what the cameras see right away so that we can see what's going on in the classroom and then engage in the classroom as we see fit. I'm hopeful that we never have that kind of emergency, but having the safety is a big relief for teachers, because they know that if they need immediate attention, all they have to do is press their button and help will be there.
Hello?
Yeah, very good. Okay. And what I'd like you to do for me is just spell your first and last name and your grade.
Okay, it's Kelby Lindbergh, Kelby Lindberg, 8th grade.
All right. I'm hearing like a clicker. Not sure what it is. All right. Tell me about your experience with the audio enhancement system and the speakers in the room. How has it affected you in your classroom studies?
Well, I sit in the back in some of my classes, and it allows me to hear the teacher more clearly because the teacher doesn't have to raise her voice at all. They could be calm and just easier to learn.
Tell me about, you don't have to be nervous, it's okay. Okay, but tell me, do you remember the days you didn't have the system?
Yeah.
Tell me about those days.
I had to ask the teacher questions about what they taught, and now I don't have to because I could hear them clearly. And it helps.
Okay, it helps, okay. So today you have the system. How does it feel to have a camera in the classroom?
At first I was nervous about it, but then I got used to it. If there was ever a situation that happened, I wouldn't be blamed for something because they caught it on camera.
And how do you like the fact that you can hear the class, the teacher now during his instruction? What's your experience with that? Tell me a little bit more about that. Does it allow you to understand what he's teaching better? Does it allow you to hear the lesson better? How does it affect you?
It does allow me to hear it better, the lesson. And it also, like, when he gives an example on the board, you could hear it 2 senses, with your sight and with your hearing.
Good, I like that. So say that again, give me a little stronger with that. Give me a little stronger, that's very good.
With the teacher giving an example on the board, and then with the sound system, you hear it with 2 senses, with your sight and with your hearing. That allows you to remember it better.
Very good. Tell me about your classroom. How's your classroom peers? How do you think they like it? What's been the buzz in the classroom about it?
I think they like it because the teacher's louder, and the teacher doesn't have to talk as loud, so.
Okay. And what about the camera itself? Do you think that have you seen any incidents that need to be recorded, or how do you feel about that being in here?
I haven't seen any incidents, but I know if there was one, that it would be taken care of with the camera, and that everything would be situated out.
So do you feel better about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, if there was a fight in the classroom, if somebody blamed you for starting the fight, would you like to have the camera in here?
Yes, because then I would get out clean, and it wouldn't be my fault.
How about this? How about if you were absent from school and you needed to understand the classroom study for that day? Would you find it beneficial to go back and watch the tape if he was to record that classroom so that you could watch it later? And tell me about that.
Yeah, I believe it would be better because I learn by visual. I can't learn very well through, like, reading it. So if I would be able to see it, then I would be able to learn and remember it.
How about if you were able to watch it from your home? Let's say you missed a classroom today, you're sick, you have the flu, you can't go to school for 5 days, and you were able to watch the classroom study today at home. How would you like to feel? How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't be nervous about getting other people sick, and I would also be learning. I would like it, because it would help.
Can you say this for me? If I was sick and at home, I'd be able to watch it on the internet. I'd be able to log into my teacher's class and watch it at home later after the class, something like that. Can you kind of say something like that for me?
Yeah. If I was absent and sick, I could log into the internet, into my teacher's class, be able to watch it through the video, and then
I'd be able to stay up with the class.
If I was ever absent and sick, I could log into the internet and find the lesson through the teacher's page and be able to keep up with the class instead of falling behind.
For graphics, spell your first and your last name for graphics.
My first name is Ben, and my last name is Veloz. V is in Victor, E-L-O-Z.
Ben, tell me, what has been your experience with this system, the audio enhancement system? How do you feel about that being in your classroom?
The thing I like about audio enhancement is that no matter where I'm standing in the classroom, students that are the farthest away from me, they can still hear me pretty well. I don't have to worry about speaking, really loudly so that everyone can hear me. I just speak my normal tone of voice, and everybody can hear. The other thing about my classroom is it's a little bit bigger than other classrooms. It's longer. So if I am at the front of the classroom, the kids in the back especially are farther away from me. That's the biggest thing that helps me is, again, as far as distance goes, they're far away, they can still hear me really well.
And having the camera in the classroom, what benefit do you find with that being
The thing about the camera is just kind of an extra level of security. If I know that if something happens, it's going to be recorded, and if somebody needs to go back and look at it, they're going to be able to go back and see it without any question. They'll most likely be able to see what happened.
As a teacher, how do you feel about it?
As far as I was kind of felt a little bit strange at first, but it's just kind of the back of my mind now. I don't really think about it. Just a normal everyday part of my classroom.
How do you feel that the students will improve by having the audio enhancement system in your class?
The way the students will be able to improve, I think they'll just be able to hear me better. It'll be less times I'll have to repeat things, and maybe more of a chance they'll hear me the first or second time I say it rather than having to say things over and over again if they couldn't hear me.
For graphics, I need you to spell your first and last name and your position here at the Rosemary Catholic School.
I did. It's Tim, T-I-M, Wombaker, W-O-M-B-A-K-E-R, and I'm principal at Rosemary Clark Middle School.
Okay. All right, let me get this cable that's underneath the camera leg. I don't want to get there. Okay, so now that that's all done and crazy, fire the camera up. All right, it's obvious to you and I that we put in a brand new system here at the school, and it's called ViewPath. What I'd like to find out from you is what has been the impact of ViewPath on your students?
The biggest thing with the students, the teachers use it, the audio enhancement system, to first of all save wear and tear on their voice, but also to affect the kids in giving them the information at a more clear, defined tone. Their voices are amplified without screaming or yelling, and they can talk in normal tone, and it amplifies to the back of the room. So to increase student achievement and to get the information out to the students, the audio enhancement works great for that. On the other side with the students is we have a security system that goes with our new audio enhancement system, and that security system is for the safety of the students, the staff, and the community. And obviously in today's society there's some issues of bullying, harassment, intimidation, but also weapons and obviously the dangers of kids coming into school and tragedies happening. So it gives the teacher the opportunity to push a button if there's an emergency situation. If a student's in danger, if a staff member's in danger, they can push a button and an immediate call goes out to the office, to the district office, and administration can handle that right away. The other part is teachers can record their lessons as they're teaching. They can hit record and they can give themselves some automatic recording device so they can see how they're teaching, who they're impacting, the students that may be not getting the information. They could see if they seem to be off task, but it gives them some strategies to help improve their instruction, but also increase student achievement with that.
Okay, what I'd like you to do for me is just a couple times, because they're changing the name of the product to ViewPath. Okay. Okay, I would like you to just kind of say the ViewPath system. Okay. Okay, so just say that a couple times for me.
ViewPath system.
The ViewPath system.
The ViewPath system.
Okay, one more time, kind of in a sentence. Just say a sentence with that in it.
The ViewPath system. ViewPath.
I know, it's kind of tough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, try it.
The ViewPath system. The ViewPath system.
Very good. Okay, now I'll edit that into what you said.
The audio enhancement.
Okay, earlier. Okay, to what extent is it easier to teach using this system? You kind of touched on it, but give me kind of a direct answer to this question.
Well, the teachers have had training on the ViewPath system previously. We had a person from the ViewPath system come out and talk to them about how to use it, the benefits of it, and how to run the entire system. And then we're going to have some more professional development, if you will, on how to record lessons. And we have some ViewPath people that are going to be coming out and doing that as well. So,
tell me how those lessons will be beneficial to the students.
Typically what will happen is the teachers can review their lessons, and they can go, you know what, I missed some points, or maybe I didn't walk around the room as much as I should have. Some of the kids in the back may have been a little bit off task. So it gives them an opportunity to see the areas they missed. Maybe their explanation was not a very good one, but they could also use that recording. So kids who were absent, they could come in and the teachers could play back that recording, and they could watch the entire lesson from that recording.
How do you feel that will increase the grade point average of the students?
The benefit of the kids is the instruction is always being provided, and with the instruction being provided, you can't go wrong with them getting the information. You can play it as many times as you want if that is needed, and then the students can review if they need to, and then obviously it's like reteaching 3 or 4 times. They can see it, they can attempt it, rewind it if need be, and play it again. So you hope that their academics and their mastery of the concepts is increased due to that.
Where will the students have access to those files?
On the files, the teacher is the only one that can have access for them, can provide that to them. We are currently looking at the best way to have students have access to that within the classroom. It could be off the teacher's computer, but the teacher would set that up specifically with that individual child or with a group of kids that are missing that. So right now we don't have anything that goes outside. We want to make sure that the district policy that's being created for the use of the technology system is utilized the right way. So we don't want to step ahead of the district. We want to make sure that we provide what we can right at this time.
If they were to be able to create a link to the teacher's classroom on the outside, would that be beneficial to the students? And do you think that would be beneficial to
Yeah, we actually are going to be working into, it's a system called Edmodo, and we have some teachers that use that now to where they can put the lessons actually on like a classroom website, if you will, and the students can access that, ask questions by that, and we're going to provide some training for teachers into that as well. But with something like that, we want to be able to put the video on there as well, and then the kids can access that site, and it's specifically set for those kids and their password. So, and the teacher gives them access to do that.
Have you ever had a classroom emergency in which you've had to use the alert system?
Unfortunately, several times. We've had some issue. We have some units that have a little bit of some disabilities, some behavior management disabilities, and we also have some situations where a student has been unfortunately belligerent and refused to leave the room. So the teacher, they don't have to raise their voice, they don't have to physically do anything. They call for administration because they feel like they might be in danger, the other kids might be in danger. So we have gone immediately. In fact, it usually takes 10 to 20 seconds to get to that room, and we have it cleared that quickly. So it's actually been very beneficial. And school resource officers available to go there. We have a campus monitor that is available to go there as well as administration. So we have multiple sources that can go take care of the problem immediately. So it's a very valuable system.
So our viewers understand, you said a unit. Now, I was thinking you're talking about, I know you're talking about a module or a classroom unit. Maybe you can expand a little bit more on the front part of what you just told me so that I can edit that into the program. But you said a unit, and I don't think a lot of people understand what unit would be.
Basically be a classroom.
Okay.
A classroom, yeah.
Okay, so if you could just reintroduce that. So I'm going to ask the question one more time. Instead
Okay.
of using unit, I want you to use this. Have you ever had a classroom emergency in which you've had to use the alert system?
Yes, yes. We've actually, we've had several teachers who have used the, if you will, it's called the panic button or the alert button, and it's come to the front office. There's still some glitches in the system, if you will, to where our teachers are still trying to find out how to use the system exactly. We've had some teachers accidentally push the button when they're trying to record, but it's not always an emergency situation, so we've cleared that and we've had training on that. But we've had some teachers who a student has been belligerent, defiant in the classroom, refusing to leave the classroom, has been a little bit destructive in the classroom, and for the safety of the students and the staff, they push that alert button, and we're school resource officer, campus monitor, administration's there within 10 to 20 seconds to deal with it and diffuse the situation, and it's been very helpful.
Okay, Doug, tell me about the audio enhancement. Okay, everybody quiet in the classroom.
Guys.
We are in. Okay. Darby, tell me about the audio enhancement system in the classroom. How has it helped you hear the teacher as he speaks during the class?
It's fantastic. He actually is talking at a low whisper, and we actually don't know it because it enhances it so much.
How has it affected your studies and your classmates around you?
It's really made it easier to hear the teacher, and definitely so that I don't have to ask people like, what is he saying? I don't understand what he's saying.
Tell me about the camera. Does the camera in the classroom intimidate you?
Not really, no.
Have you ever seen the camera used for a purpose in the classroom?
I have seen the camera used, and it's actually very helpful.
How have you seen that?
If there was like a fight or something, some people said something, then you have evidence that actually never happened or it did.
How do you feel about the fact that the teacher can record his lessons and you are able to re-watch them at a later time should you be sick or miss a class?
That's fantastic, because I know that I get sick pretty much a lot. So if I need to go back and look at something, then I actually have one-on-one, like basically, with everyone else.
How do you feel that the other students in the class like the opportunity to have the audio enhancement ViewPath system working for them in the classroom? What do you think the students feel about ViewPath?
I think that they really enjoy it. They definitely seem that it's newer, and they like the idea of actually newer technology, and we're moving on.
Tell me about your past growing up not having this ViewPath system in your classroom. How do you think it's benefited today versus over the past?
Well, I know when I was growing up, my teachers would lose their voice a lot. It became harder and harder to hear them. things were challenging, I would have to be like, what are they saying? I'm not understanding. Their voice is breaking up. They're not nearly as loud, or when the class is overbearing, they can actually get over their voice over it. So it's actually really helpful. I like it.
3, 2, 1.
You have.
All right, we'll say it one more time. 3, 2, 1.
You have.
Okay, so first question to you is what has been the impact of ViewPath on your students?
The impact of Viewpoint. Are you talking about the technology?
Yeah, the technology of
okay.
ViewPath, the speakers, the audio, being able to talk to the class, and the monitoring system.
I think it's been really great. We have the speakers, and we have the technology. We have this smart board over here that we use. Actually, I learned a lot from the smart board from the kids. Actually, in my training they probably know more about it than I do, but it's been a wonderful tool in the educational process. With all this new technology, it's wonderful. It's just when I first came to the school and I saw the technology and I saw the new school, it was like walking into a junior college. It's just a really neat experience with all the technology and how nice our building and facility. So it's wonderful to teach here. Actually, I love my classroom.
Okay. All right. If you guys want to go ahead and go. How do you feel that the students are learning with you being mic'd, and they're able to hear you throughout the classroom? And what experience has it given you?
Well, I think with the mic, it's been very productive because now maybe you have a student in the back of the classroom, and maybe they didn't hear what we were talking about that day, something in history they're having a hard time hearing, or maybe they have a disability as well or something like that, where with a microphone it makes it a lot easier for them to be able to hear the instruction.
Pardon the interruption. Mr. Lochtel and Ms. Hagstrom.
And also I think sometimes if one of the students, we have another microphone that we have a handheld microphone, and if someone is, we're talking about a certain subject, I can give that microphone to that student and they can use the microphone, and then everyone in the room can hear that particular thing that we're talking about from the student. So it's actually it's productive in both ways, student and teacher, being able to use the technology and use the microphone where everybody can hear.
In your own words, would you say it's easier to use to teach with this system? In your own words, can you put that?
I believe it is. You might be working on classroom management. You can use the microphone. The kids can hear you better. Also, it's helped me with my voice. Without the microphone before, I noticed that I would lose my voice easier. You don't have to really talk very loud in the microphone, which makes it a lot better teaching, and I kind of save my voice that way.
Have you ever had a classroom emergency in which you had to use the system for the alert process of it?
I haven't done that yet. I know we have on this microphone here, we have a button. It's I think has a letter F on it, and I guess that's the emergency button. When you push that, something happens in the room, then immediately, administration comes, or security. Those people come immediately when you push that. And from my understanding, I guess that actually transmits through the school and through at the district office as well. They receive that alarm, from what we were told. I haven't used this yet, but over here in the corner over here, you can't see it, of course, but there's a button that you can push, which you push that button and the office picks up immediately. I used that button when I had a girl faint in here a couple of weeks ago. So we needed help immediately, so I just went ahead and pushed the button, and the office comes on the intercom. So it's really good in those kinds of things when you need somebody and you need help. So.
All right, one last thing. If you can, go ahead and give me your first and last name and the spelling of that with your title.
Okay, it's Alan, A-L-A-N, Weeks, W-E-E-K-S, and title is Teacher, World History Teacher.
Topics.
Okay.
First and last name spelling and your position.
Okay. You want me to start now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Max Buffy. I'm the principal of Pahrump Valley High School. My name is spelled M-A-X-B-U-F-F-I.
Okay. What if I put you over here? No.
What are you?
I'm looking at the reflection on the.
You want me to take my glasses off?
Do you usually wear them or no?
It doesn't matter.
All right. Okay. That'd be good. Yep.
Not better.
That'd help me. Alrighty. So Max Buffy, that's there you go. Okay, first question out of the gate, sir, is going to be, what has been the impact of ViewPath, you know, as audio enhancement, on your students?
I've had students that have been curious about it. Teachers have talked to them about, we have cameras in the classroom where we can record and see what's taking place in the classroom. And I've had students asking me, what exactly is it going to show, and when is it going to be on, and how is it going to be used? So just mostly curiosity at this point.
And can you tell me maybe some, what is the extent for it to be easier to teach in the classroom by using the system?
Well, it's not going to make it easier to teach, but it's going to be able to be used as a teaching tool. So when a teacher or an administrator wants to record that classroom, and then the teacher and administrator can sit down afterwards and review that tape and see that footage and be able to pick out good things that happened in the classroom, things that can be improved in the classroom. It's going to be a nice analysis check for a teacher to be able to watch and actually see what they do. I think it's going to make for better teaching, especially time-wise. So I see a lot of good benefits coming out of this.
Tell me about the students. How do you feel the students will achieve from listening and be able to listen throughout the classroom with the audio being distributed equally?
With the audio enhancement system that we now have, the sound system, what I've seen in classrooms, teachers are talking much more softly, and students are able to hear no matter where you're at in the classroom. You can go to all of the corners of the classroom and the sound is still there. So kids aren't straining to have to overhear. Classrooms tend to be a little more noisier than normal places, and so it's nice to have that. Teachers can turn it up to overcome that noise level, shall we say, which isn't out of hand, but it's good enough that all the kids in the classroom can hear what's being said. Some of the things that you see is teachers don't have to repeat as often. Kids aren't asking the question, okay, what did you just say? Because they missed it because some other kid was talking. They can still hear it. So it's going to help the kids that way.
And the teacher?
It's going to be great for the teacher. They don't have to strain as much. They don't have to raise their voice. They don't have to almost get to that yelling point to make sure that they're heard. The one thing that I see going into classrooms and just observing, kids are very much more observant now because they can hear the teacher. So teachers aren't having to yell, aren't having to scream, or even raise their voice. They're talking very softly, and I've already had teachers tell me that they feel a difference now.
Have you ever had a classroom emergency in which you used the alert system portion?
We haven't had an emergency. We've had a couple of times that the button has been pushed alerting us that there's an emergency. We've responded to the classroom, probably respond to the classroom in less than 30 seconds. When it goes off, all the administrators are called on the radio and our security here at the school, and if an SRO is in the building, we invite him to come down too. We all head to that classroom. We've had 3 instances where it's went off. Hasn't been an emergency. It was set off accidentally. But the kids are seeing that there's a response, and the teachers are seeing there's a response, and they're seeing that we are paying attention to what's going on. And as one teacher told me after it happened, it's nice to know that somebody responded. So, you know, you've got to look at that as a positive for the teachers, to know that if something happens in the classroom, we're going to get down there.
Let's discuss the fact about student makeups and the fact that we can videotape our teaching in the class and students are able to make up because they're sick or they missed or they're out on vacation or they're out on some other. Can you tell me about the benefits of being able to use the system for reteaching?
Oh yeah, I mean, let's say that we have a inordinate amount of our students, say 8th period, that are leaving because of athletics. And certain teachers that teach 8th period have a very important lesson that they're going to be teaching, that you really need to be there to get that lecture and what's being said. We can record that, and then we can put that so the students with the teacher are able to view that at a later date and get that full lesson and the impact of it without missing, you know, what took place in the classroom, any questions that might have been asked by other students or whatever. So it's going to help in the aspect that teachers can still continue along with the continuum to keep pace, and students will still be able to see that actual classroom teaching to make that work up or to be caught up. So